research question is, to what extent does a person's satisfaction of his or her job affect their life in and out of the workplace? The percent of a high job satisfaction has went down in the past years. According to this graph, only 45% of American workers were satisfied with their job in 2009. That went down from 61% in 1987. In a 2004 Gallup report of worker satisfaction, they found that as many as 70% of Americans don't feel engaged by their current job. In the stimulus packet, I was inspired by Richard Nixon's address to the nation on Labor Day speech from the stimulus packet. In this speech, he mainly talks about work ethic of this nation, and then he connects it to job satisfaction. It is when he said, and the new need for job satisfaction is the key to the quality of work, that when my research question was formed. Economically, the work ethic of employees is based upon their worker satisfaction. If they do not work hard at their job because they don't like their job, then they will most likely get paid less money than their peers who do work hard. Also, not working hard enough can cause a loss in income not only for the worker themselves, but also for the business. This, in the long run, can end up hurting the employee because of the loss of their job due to the business shutting down or them not being able to pay them. In a quote by Jeff Johnson, who is an assistant professor of marketing at the University of Missouri, Kansas City, he states that one way in which researchers can overcome this confined focus is to capture the salesperson's behavioral tendencies involved in the incidents of cross-selling and upselling. It is how an employee interacts with his or her customers, which can affect the income of the business itself and their monthly or weekly pay. This graph shows that if someone gets happier with their job, then their median pay also increases. Scientifically, a lower job satisfaction will negatively affect the worker's mental and physical health. A low job satisfaction can cause mental issues such as depression, burnout, anxiety, and a drop in self-esteem. David Milack, who is a writer for the Business News Daily, states that new research finds that employees who stay at jobs out of a feeling of obligation are prone to several health problems, including exhaustion, stress, and burnout. In this graph, it shows that when people are more satisfied with their job in life, they have a better health. They have a lot better health than people who are not happy with their jobs. Socially, a low job satisfaction can affect people at their home too. It can affect their spouses and their children. It can cause divorce and more behavioral problems with the children at school and at home. In a quote by Julie Anchistegui, who works at Walden University in dissertations and doctoral studies, states that what has been agreed upon is that someone is happy in their relationship or with their relationship status, they're more likely to report being satisfied with their jobs. This graph shows that as the job satisfaction increases, so does the family income, which would increase the happiness at home. Not only does the job satisfaction only affect workers' lives negatively, but it can also affect them positively in the ways such as it can influence people to go back to school and get a better job. Although they could change jobs and get a better one that they do enjoy, there might be issues such as high unemployment rates, which it'd be hard for them to find a new job that they like. And some workers would not be able to go back to school to get a better job and a higher income also. Gregory Smith, who is an international business consultant, explains that those that fail to improve job satisfaction are at a risk of losing their top talented people to their competition. solutions to solve the problem of a low job satisfaction. One solution could be to hold a survey at businesses that ask for suggestions on how to improve their workers' jobs and how to increase the satisfaction of its employees. Although a limitation of this solution may be that the employees might not take the survey seriously, Another solution might be employees to leave their work at work instead of bringing it home. Although this would work mostly, there are some jobs, such as teachers, that they have to bring home their lesson plans to make lesson plans and to grade papers. My final solution is for employees to change jobs or careers if it is stressing them out too much. Although a limitation would be that finding a new job isn't easy and they can't be out of a job because they still need to support their families. In conclusion, a low job satisfaction leads to three things: more mental health issues, problems at home, and not generating enough income for the company and at home, and for themselves.
Okay, Hunter, a couple of questions for you. The first one is, what evidence did you gather that you did not use, and then why did you choose not to use it?
Some evidence that I gathered that I did not use was based around the fact on what caused a low job satisfaction instead of what a low job satisfaction caused, which is what my presentation was about. And some of the research that I found was explaining more like that home issues might cause a low job satisfaction, but my research question was based around the fact that based on the fact of what a low job satisfaction would cause in the long run at their home and at work.
Okay, and then your other second question would be, what might be the real world implications or consequences of your findings, and then what are the implications to our community?
A real world implication would be that a low job satisfaction affects thousands of families around the world in their homes and at work. And having a low job satisfaction might not only affect the worker itself that is not satisfied with their job, but it also might affect the employees around them, because the employees around them might have to work more if the one that has a low satisfaction is not having a great enough work ethic.
And is there any implications that would be specific to our community?
It really affects everyone in the whole U.S. and even around the world, and specifically in our community, that there are people with low job satisfactions, and it affects their families and their businesses that they work at.